Good morning everyone, a slightly different video from me today. This video is aimed at the 3 people out there who, like me, experienced sheer panic when they realized that Estee Lauder has discontinued this foundation. This is their Double Wear Nude Water Fresh Makeup Foundation. I bought this foundation about 2 years ago. I've been using it on and off with other foundations that I have in my collection, but I always really enjoyed it, and I thought eventually it will be one of my staple foundations. Imagine the horror when I realized a couple of days ago when I was looking through Black Friday sales that this foundation has been long discontinued. It seems like at least for a year now. The reason I found out that it's been discontinued is because I have the shade 2 and 1, and I was just very curious to try whether the 2W1, the warmer version of this, would fit me better. So I went on the website to check, and then I found out that there are hardly any shades left, if any. So then my first thought, well, it's Black Friday, maybe they've like sold out all the shades. But then I looked at a couple of other places and I realized it's just sold out everywhere. And then I googled the dreaded Estee Lauder Double Wear Nude discontinued, only to find out that it truly has been discontinued. However, as I was lurking on the internet, as one does these days, I came across a Reddit post. Thank you, Redditor, who posted this crucial information to my existence. This specific Redditor mentioned that since MAC is owned by Estee Lauder, they make a foundation which has the exact same formula and the exact same claims as the Estee Lauder Double Wear Nude, and the foundation in question is the MAC Studio Waterweight foundation. So, these two supposedly dupes of each other, the only difference being they come with different shade ranges because MAC has their own numbering, Estee has their own numbering, so on and so forth. So at first I was like, do I really want to pick up a completely new foundation, risk being disappointed and, you know, finding out that I spent my money on something that I will never use? But then I thought, you know what, I'm a scientist, let's do this for science. I picked up the foundation also because it was on sale, which brings me to a small price difference between these foundations. I never buy this I've never bought the Estee Lauder foundation in full price, and it will really depend on where you live how much this costs. In the Netherlands this is almost 50 euros at this point, and I've always bought it on sale for, let's say, something between 35 and 40 euros depending on, you know, the inflation and what it cost at the time and the amount of discount that I purchased it with. This one is maybe like 5 to 10 euros cheaper, and I was able to get it now on sale for Black Friday for 26 euros. So the difference even with sale is quite significant in the sense that the one from MAC is quite much cheaper. When it comes to packaging, I was very pleasantly surprised to find out that the foundations both are very luxuriously packaged, because the one from Estee comes in a frosted thick bottle, and so does the one from MAC. This is a very thick frosted bottle. How this video is going to go is I'm going to demo the foundations for you. Just a couple of words to warn you. I don't apply my foundations over any sort of primer. I apply them straight over my skincare because I have stopped using primers already several years ago. I just rely on my skincare and my blurring powders to do the heavy lifting, and I've never noticed that my foundation stays longer if I really have a primer underneath it. So I stopped using those altogether, so you will see me applying the foundations straight over my skincare. The other point I wanted to make is I am not a foundation reviewer, so if you're here for a professional foundation review, you're barking at the wrong tree, okay? I am not going to be doing check-ins because my life is not compatible with doing foundation check-ins. I'm not a YouTuber, I don't work from home, I go to my workplace where I think it would be super weird if I whipped out my camera to film foundation updates. And then when I get home in the evening, I have a toddler that needs to be fed and put to bed, and then I have to cook dinner, so I really just do not have the time to remember even to do check-ins. So I will just let you know verbally how the foundations have worn throughout the day, and if I have noticed any difference between the MAC foundation and the Estee foundation. And with that said, I think I've rambled enough, and I'm just going to leave you with the demos and my final thoughts. So let's try the two foundations, shall we? The Estee Lauder Double Wear Nude, and here is the MAC Studio Waterweight. I feel like in terms of packaging, the one from MAC is about as luxuriously feeling as the one from Estee Lauder. In fact, I think the MAC one might have a slightly better solution in terms of how to dispense the product, because it comes with this little dropper thingy. Isn't that much better than having to like pour the foundation on your hand as it is with the Estee Lauder foundations always? You either have to buy your own pump, or you have to pour the foundation onto your hands, which is, I find, really annoying, especially for a luxurious foundation. But anyway, what I want to do now is, first of all, I just want to feel the two foundations in terms of their formulas, because I'm very curious whether they feel the same. Okay, so here we have a bit from the Estee Lauder foundation. Let me scoop a bit more. This formula is very creamy. It's definitely a light coverage foundation, and I am just very curious how the one from MAC is going to compare with it. I really hope that that dude who said that the two were dupes for each other on Reddit was right. So let's pour a bit of the foundation from MAC right here. You know what, in terms of texture, let me touch this. They actually feel very similar in terms of texture. They both have like this creaminess to them. You can see in terms of color they're different, of course, because the one from Estee is in the shade 2N1, which is their neutral shade, and the one from MAC is the NC25, which I believe is meant for, you know, people like me who have warmer skin, warmer tones to their skin. So I'm just going to apply the foundation as I usually would, using my Sonia G. Yeah, I'm having a moment here and I can't remember how the brush from Sonia G is called. Is this one? It's the one that you use for your base makeup. I'm sorry, that's dirty. And it's her Fusion series. That's the only thing I'm sure of. Something with a base. Anyway. Like I said, this is very light coverage. I think that the shade match is actually better for me because in terms of a skin tone undertone, the NC25 from MAC fits me better than the 2N1 from Estee Lauder. In terms of how this foundation applies on the skin, like in terms of blendability, it's very similar to the one from Estee. However, in terms of finish, I think the one from Estee has a more luminous and dewy finish. This reminds me more of the Face and Body from Dior, the Backstage foundation from Dior, because it has more of like that satin, slightly, it's not a matte finish, but it is not as dewy, I think, as the one from Estee is. Or maybe I'm having a stroke. Tomorrow I will apply a little bit of the Estee foundation and I will see how that one looks in terms of finish on my skin. So this is a very nice foundation. Let's see how it's going to wear. And now let's try the Estee Lauder Double Wear Nude Water Fresh foundation. That is a mouthful to say, but that is the full name of the foundation. So let's be, you know, precise about it. I'm taking a little bit like this on the back of my hand. I really hate, I'm going to repeat it several times just to reiterate my point. I hate that it doesn't come with a pump and that you have to buy the pump separately. So as you can see, this foundation is slightly less of a good color match for me because it has more neutral tones, so it looks a little bit more grayish. But now let's blend it out and see whether I am wrong about the finish of this being slightly more dewy than the one from MAC, which I felt like settled down into more of a Dior Backstage type of finish, which is sort of like a satin matte. I am starting to think that maybe I'm insane and this really does have the exact same finish as the MAC Waterweight foundation. And just to report on how the foundation from MAC wore yesterday, it performed pretty much as all of my like more lightweight, light coverage foundations. So the Estee, the Dior, it wore off very gracefully. Mind you, that foundation got rained on both on my way to and back from work, and on my way back it got rained on pretty heavily, so there was not much left by the time I got home. But I feel like the two foundations are pretty comparable to each other. I might come back one more time and apply half on half of my face and half of the other half of my face just to convince myself that they really are the same thing. Okay, now for our final experiment, let's do the ultimate comparison. How do these look like when you put them side by side on my face? I would really like to try that, even though the two foundations clearly have different undertones to them, so maybe I will look a little bit crazy, but we shall see. So here we have the foundation from MAC, the Studio Light, and again I want to just feel how this is looking. Okay, I'm going to apply this on the left side of my face, right here, and just blend it out with my little brush. Oh, I'm actually really liking how this foundation blends out and how the finish on the skin is looking. It's looking really lovely. And the color match is really good. Sometimes I make rash decisions when I buy makeup and then I half regret them, but in this particular case I'm really happy that I decided to try this because I think it might save me from the disappointment of the Estee Lauder Double Wear Nude being discontinued. Now let's apply the Double Wear Nude. And again, I want to just touch this. Yeah, they just feel so similar. If there is any difference in texture, I cannot detect it with my bare fingers. Okay, let's apply this foundation now. I'm mostly curious whether what I remember about the foundation from Estee being more luminous really is true, or they're the exact same finish. Again, on this side I have the MAC Studio Waterweight foundation, and on this side I have the Estee Lauder Double Wear Nude foundation. You know what? I do not see a dramatic difference in their finish. They both look like a slightly more like a satin dewy finish. They're both that very lightweight, very sheer coverage formula. I like a sheer coverage because I just don't like very heavy formulas. I feel like they really settle into like flaky parts of my face that I didn't even know were there. This just looks fresh and youthful and fitting for my almost 39-year-old skin, okay? I want to compare the Waterweight foundation. Just wanted to show you the difference in the formula with a similar type finish foundation, and that is my Dior Backstage foundation. And the Dior Backstage foundation is another one of those very sheer coverage foundations. This also dries to a beautiful satin finish. I feel like it leans a little bit more on the matte than the dewy side. I think the ones from Estee and MAC are slightly more dewy. It's a very, very minor difference. You can probably already detect that the foundation from MAC / Estee Lauder took a little bit longer to start running down my hand, whereas the one from Dior is quite liquidy. With that said, I think the formula and the way the one from Dior feels is also very similar to the other two. The other two are maybe just a bit more creamy. Final verdict: if you were a huge fan of the Estee Lauder Double Wear Nude Water Fresh foundation and you were extremely disappointed that it has been discontinued, I'm here to tell you that as far as my senses go and my judgment, I think the MAC Studio Waterweight foundation is pretty much an exact dupe for the Estee foundation. So you can save yourself the disappointment and frustration and go get yourself the MAC foundation, because I think this will probably be around for much longer. Estee has the horrible habit of discontinuing their more lightweight foundations. They apply the same on the skin, they feel the same when you touch them, they wear the same throughout the day. So if you are looking for a good lightweight sheer coverage foundation, I highly recommend the one from MAC. And alternatively, I think the Dior Face and Body foundation is also a fantastic foundation in that specific coverage category. So if it will all come down to honestly like the shade ranges available and which shades match you the best. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this foundation comparison video. I don't really do these very often. It was more like a emergency because I was searching on YouTube myself to find a comparison between these two foundations and I couldn't find anything, and that is one of the reasons I decided to put this video out, because I figured there are other lost souls out there who might be curious in this kind of content. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what your thoughts are on these specific foundations. What is your favorite light sheer coverage foundation? Let's discuss in the comments as usual, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!